front. He's saying he's not going to show up to the debate Wednesday night. How do you look at that based on what you know about him?
Well, I mean, why would he show up for the debate? All he can do is screw himself up. I mean, he's leading, right? So why put himself at risk? I mean, he was bad at the other debates, in my opinion. So I'm not surprised at all that he's ducking that. What I find hysterical is this big conference he was going to have, where he was going to have proof of that everything was rigged in Georgia, and he's going to be exonerated. And all of a sudden, we don't need to do that because the lawyers are going to take care of that.
Yeah,
I thought that was hysterical. But that's typical.
Did it surprise you?
No.
Why not?
Because he's done that kind of thing before. It was all made up. Obviously there's no evidence. There's nothing. He came up with an idea. Let's do this. And then people forgive him for not, they'll believe him. That was his attitude. He would tell the same lie 100 times if he had to, but eventually people believed it.
So you're not surprised by all this? You're saying you kind of saw this pattern playing out when you were working for him in the 80s and 90s.
Yes. It goes over a period of time. I mean, I started with him in 1980 and pretty much finished up with him in 98 or something like that. But I saw the development, the change in him, his going from being like almost human. I mean, he really seemed like a human person, and now I don't think he is. I don't know. He's a sociopath. I'm no psychologist or anything, but he's not normal. People aren't like him.
You have said that he doesn't listen to experts, and that working, on the Plaza Hotel, that he started bringing people in who, in your words, you described had zero credentials. I mean, just mentioning what you said there about whether or not he's taking his attorney's advice. I mean, what is the through line you see from how he acted on the construction days to this?
Well, when I was with him, he had very few people. I think there were 10 employees at the most. And he had good people. And he did listen to them, and he took advice, and he worked with good lawyers, and he did basically what they told him. I mean, of course, he was outlandish. Of course, he pissed everybody off. But basically, he didn't go off on his own, and, there was no Twitter or anything like that back then. And I slowly watched the development as he became more powerful, more full of himself, more convinced of his own genius, and he stopped really listening to people. He didn't follow advice unless it was the advice he told them to give him, which is another story altogether. I mean, hiring people that will tell you what you want to hear. But after a while, he didn't listen to anyone. I mean, when he said, "I know more than the generals," I think he believed it.